In this video, we'll talk about reflection, how to arrive at acceptance and move on from there. Managing and overcoming anxiety takes work, a lot of work through self-observation and introspection, which is why this video is filled with worksheets that help you ask the right questions and as a result find the right answers. This process isn't easy. It isn't quick either, but we guarantee that the rewards are long-lasting and worthy. In this chapter, we speak about reaching a place where you can accept your current situation and plan. We provide guidelines that help you reflect and reassess your situation, the reasons for it, and ways to manage it too. The first step to the process is to monitor your body's responses to events that bring on your anxiety. This step is vital because sometimes people don't realize they're going through an anxiety attack until they begin to experience some physical components of it. Once you are physically aware of what your body is going through, you can track your feelings and observe their relationship with each other. Finally, we show you how to become more aware of your present state of mind. We show you how to accept it and move on from there. Understanding your body signals. Daisy is a bit taken aback when her doctor diagnoses her with anxiety. Her doctor suggests she spend more time listening to her body, and so she tries to understand her body signals by writing down unpleasant physical sensations as she experiences them. What she discovers over a week surprises her. She realizes she is experiencing some of the telltale signs of anxiety. She decides to take control of it, and with the guidance of her doctor starts tuning in to find a way out of her dilemma. Worksheet 10. Tracking your body's signals. Here is a list of common bodily symptoms and signs of anxiety. Keep a track of any signs you experience for a week, along with the day you experienced it and the situation that led up to the experience. Now, some of the symptoms might be like that of an illness. If your symptoms are indicative of an illness, then consult your doctor for advice. But if your symptoms are a result of your anxiety, then you're likely to have an emotional thought that led to it. Increased heart rate, difficulty in breathing, stomach discomfort, headache, dizziness, sweaty hands, palms, feet, forehead, lightheadedness, tightening of chest, feeling disoriented, feeling nauseous, feeling lonely and sad. At the end of each day, review your notes. Take time to think about what you feel. Write your feelings. Minding your moods. After you become more aware of your body's signals, you might be able to connect them with your changing moods. Track your moods every day for a week. How do you feel when you are happy? How do you feel when you think you are feeling anxious? What is your mood like? How do you react to emotional situations? Can you identify it as you experience it? What are your thoughts at such a time? How much control do you have over your thoughts and responses? Your moods too. Worksheet 11. Mood Tracker. Each day, circle all the feeling words mentioned below that describe your emotions. Think and describe your mood and behavioral patterns at such times. Describe the situations that led to it, your thoughts when you were experiencing it. Simply observe and describe your thoughts and reactions during the first week. Try and yield a level of control over any negative and unpleasant thoughts and moods during the second week. How are you feeling? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Continue to balance your thoughts and mood swings. Do you see any progress? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Rehabilitating your thoughts. Now that you've spent a little time with your mind and body, you might have a fair idea of what they're trying to tell you. This understanding will only get deeper and more intuitive as you understand yourself and your anxiety better, and you'll get there as you keep working on the worksheets. Finding acceptance. Now it's time to move on to the phase of acceptance. And to get there, you must first unearth and remove any distorted thought patterns that might be stopping you from moving on. What are distorted thought patterns? Distorted thoughts are thoughts that are disconnected and different from reality. They are thoughts you tell yourself to avoid reality. Here are some examples of distorted thought patterns. Expanding and shrinking. Your mind exaggerates the unpleasantness of the task on hand and underestimates your reluctance and/or incapability of doing it. For instance, you may think, it's impossible to solve this problem. Nobody can do it. Truth is, a few people in your team might have been able to do it. You dismiss it as impossible and therefore don't try and seek assistance. Filtering. Your mind filters out information and feedback to its inconvenience. For instance, you receive feedback on your performance. You have 3 good scores and 2 poor ones. Your mind can filter this either way. It can make you believe that you were good in 3, and so the other 2 don't matter, Or it can make you ignore the 3 and focus on how miserable you are. Dismissing evidence. Your mind discards evidence that may challenge its negative narrative. For instance, you are preparing for an exam and are worried that the lessons you skipped might end up in the paper. And so, your mind dismisses it by believing it already knows that those lessons will be ignored. Generalizing. You look at a single, unpleasant incident and decide that the event represents a general, unrelenting trend. For instance, you tell your friends that they are never there for you and are always late when they might have missed a few events and are caring and punctual people. Presumptuous. You assume that you know what others are thinking without confirming it with them. For instance, you take it for granted that the other person might be okay with your choice of decisions for them. Emotional reasoning. If you're feeling something, then that is the truth, the reality. For instance, if you're afraid of something, then it must be dangerous for you. If you don't like working on your anxiety, then you believe that you cannot overcome it and therefore must settle with it. Unreliable forecasting. You assume a negative thought will manifest into reality. You fear driving, and so you convince yourself that you're likely to meet with an accident if you drive. Overcoming any distorted thought patterns. Worksheet 12. Distorted Thoughts Tracker. Reflect on the above table. Take time to truly reflect on each pattern. And when you are open and ready, spend time to check if you display any of them. You can also ask a close friend or relative to give you their honest opinion. Once you identify a pattern, mindfully try and avoid this every time you catch yourself falling into the trend. Again, seek assistance from loved ones if you can. Tracking your thoughts and looking for distortions in them helps put things in better perspective, which in turn starts improving your mood and reduces anxiety. So, stay honest and patient. Assessing your present and preparing a plan for the future. Now that you know your pitfalls and the stuck points that are stopping you from moving ahead, accept them without guilt or resentment. It makes the process of letting go of them easier. Face your problems and take action to change it. Assess your responsibility and determine your next steps. Start by replacing any negative thoughts with positive and constructive thoughts. Change your perspective. Become more aware of yourself and your surroundings, of the reality too. Stay honest and open to feedback and change. Distinguish the past from the present. Take direct action against problematic thoughts. Connect with now. Ask yourself, where are you now? Where do you want to be? Worksheet 13. Setting goals. Can you think of anything that you want more than you fear? Your example could be anything from investing in a property, becoming more fit, creating stronger social ties, or it can be facing your fear itself. If you can't think of anything right now, don't rush through. Take time to let the question marinate for a few days, weeks, even months perhaps. Keep going back to it to see if you have something that aligns with your purpose in life. Write them down when they hit you, and they will. Great! Now you have your goals in front of you. What can stop you from achieving them? Nothing. The next few chapters will show you how.